Hi guys! So if you've been tuning in with Zoo to You on YouTube, then you will know who I am. If not, I am Stacey. I'm the zookeeper here at Zoo to You. I'm going to keep doing this every video so everyone knows who I am. We just want to do a massive shout out to Dee from New Jersey in USA. She has been watching our videos and learning lots and lots of things about all of our animals here at the centre. So we're just going to do a quick recap on what you did yesterday. So you met Melissa and you guys looked at our meerkats, who you can see just running around in there. So you guys looked at the Kalahari Desert in Africa. Now today we are going to look at a slightly different desert in Africa, and it's the world's biggest hot desert. So have a think while we go over the daily homework about what desert it could possibly be. So our daily homework is to write a fact file on the animals we are presenting to you. You can make them as colourful as you want. You can make them 2D or 3D. You could build a meerkat just like this and do the Kalahari Desert one if you want to. Or you can get really creative and go into your garden, find lots of fun things that you could use to make stuff with. And then you can always put arrows to tell you what parts we are telling you about. We did have a fact file posted yesterday and it was very, very impressive. It was really colourful and it had all the interesting facts of our meerkats on, and we will look at it later. So today we are going to learn about our Sulcata tortoise. Now we have two tortoises to show you, but before I pick them up, we need to discuss what a tortoise is. If you tuned into our classification week, then you would learn all about what reptiles are. Liam presented it to you. So our reptiles have several things that make them a reptile. First of all, they're all covered in scales. Second, they have a backbone or a vertebrae. Now, you can't see it on a tortoise because it's inside their body, but it goes around their shell as a dome, so that when they get scared, they can tuck themselves inside. They lay eggs. All our tortoises here at the centre lay eggs. Not all reptiles lay eggs though. Roughly 90% of reptiles lay eggs. A couple give birth to live babies. They shed their skin as they grow, and also they are cold-blooded. Can you remember what cold-blooded is? Liam told you it's how the animals keep themselves warm. So if they get too cold, they go out into the sunshine to warm up, and if they get too hot, then they have to go into the shade to cool down. So here we have Dipsy, and she is a Sulcata tortoise all the way from Africa. Now, she's not from the Kalahari Desert that you looked at yesterday. She is from the Sahara Desert. Now, if you Google the Sahara Desert, you will get loads of sand. That's it, sand. But she doesn't live in the sandy areas. If you go to the southern Sahara Desert, you will find some bushes, some cactuses, and lots of grassy hay. Okay, and that is the area you would find her living in because she needs a food source. She is a herbivore. So she would eat all these hay and grasses. Now she can go weeks without any food or water. But if she does go weeks with food and water, once she comes across some, she can eat 15% of her body weight. Now, Dipsy here at the moment only weighs about a kilogram. She's not very big. She is 7 this August. She can live till she is 150 years old. So she is going to take her time to grow because she is going to be around for a very, very long time. Now, this shell here is very, very heavy. Now, if Dipsy was to grow really, really quick within the first few years of her life, it means that she'd be really, really heavy. And it means it'd take her longer to get places because, as you know, tortoises walk really, really slow. And it's to conserve energy. You don't want to go running in the race. It's like the hare and the tortoise. The hare ran, took a nap, ran again, and took another nap. She just keeps slowly walking, and if she does this throughout the day, she can walk at least 5 miles or more. So she can get really far if she goes at a nice steady pace. Okay? Now, these guys are really, really strange animals because we have another tortoise from the same clutch of eggs just here, and we're going to look at the size difference between them. Would you look at that? This one here, the very small one, this is Bugsy, and Bugsy is so much smaller than Dipsy. She's only about 300 grams, so she's like a quarter of the weight of what Dipsy is, and even though they're the same size, they're growing at different rates. So the way this works is because Dipsy here, when she gets fed her grass, she climbs into the bowl. And she covers that grass with her shell so no one else can get the grass. So she's hoarding food for herself so that no one can steal her food. So when Bugsy wants to try and get to some grass, Dipsy here says no. So that is why Dipsy is much bigger. Now the reason they are on this blanket is because tortoises cannot be toilet trained. So I don't really want to have an accident happen on me today. So we're just going to keep her on this blanket. Now, does anyone know the difference between tortoises and turtles? Tortoises have this really curved shell, whereas turtles have very flat shells because turtles live in the water. So they have the flat shell to make it easier for them to stream through the water and swim so that they can get places quicker. If they had a really dome shell like this, say if you tried to drive a box instead of a car, then it would be much harder because of the wind dynamics. Also, turtles have flippers to help them swim, whereas she has little claws here to allow her to dig in all of the sand. So she is a very impressive little tortoise. Now, like I said, her spine isn't like mine and yours where it goes straight down our back. It doesn't go straight through the shell here. It goes around the shell. It's actually attached to the shell on the inside. So that when Dipsy here gets scared and she goes inside of her shell, she doesn't have a spine in the way and she's not pushing anything into that spine for it to hurt her. So she can comfortably go into her shell whenever she is afraid. She is very cute. Now, if you look at her face, we'll move her a bit closer. There you go. She doesn't have teeth like me and you. She has a beak to eat her food. So this beak allows her to chomp on the leaves, and then she will use her tongue to push it back into her stomach, which is around here. And then it'll go all the way through the intestines, which are squished in this part of the body, and then it will come out the other side, like every other animal. However, the most important thing about her going to the toilet is that she uses it for seed dispersal. So once she's eaten that plant and digests it through her body, the seeds come out the other end with her poo, and it acts like manure. So as she goes toilet, she's spreading seeds around so that she is planting other plants to allow them to grow, which means she is very important to the ecosystem. Now, another reason she's really important to the habitat that she lives in is because she digs dens. So in the Sahara Desert, it gets to at least 50 degrees Celsius during the day, which is very hot. I have been to Africa, and unfortunately a tortoise caused a bushfire. It was that hot, it was near some leaves, and the shiny shell here caused the sun to reflect off it and cause a fire. Luckily, we saved the tortoise and we put the fire out, but this shell is very dangerous in very hot heat. So what she does is she digs a den. Now this den can be 3 meters under the ground. She digs a nice burrow. So this burrow here, we're just going to pop her down for a minute so she can go through it. I'll pick up the smaller one. Go down, Dips. Okay, big size difference. So they will dig a den 3 meters under, and they will go in this den during the day because the heat is too hot in the Sahara Desert. But they come out at sunrise and sunset to get their food because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. So the sun's still there to help them stay nice and warm and digest all their food. So we call this crepuscular. If an animal comes out at dawn and dusk, they are classed as a crepuscular species. Okay, so they are very incredible. Now these dens aren't only important for the tortoises, other animals use them as well. So it's a nice safe place because in that den the temperature goes to about 20 degrees Celsius, which is what it's like outside in the sun in Britain. So if you think about it, they don't get too hot or too cold in there. It's a nice temperature where they can stay nice and warm. So they are very, very good at surviving. Now, we said that these guys lay eggs. So these guys can lay up to 50 eggs, and they won't put all their eggs in one basket or nest. They will dig several nests in the sand, and they will lay about 10 to 15 eggs in each nest, and they will spread them out so that if a predator comes along to eat the eggs, then they've not eaten all of their babies, so there's a chance that more tortoises are going to hatch and be born. Once the female here has laid her eggs in that nest, they stay underground for about 8 months during incubation. It means it's not going to get too hot and too cold. And then after 8 months, there's normally a bit of rain. Once that's happened, it can take up to 3 days for the baby tortoises to hatch out of their eggs, and then it can take at least 10 days for them to climb to the surface. Now, me and you, we need to be parent reared to learn how to be people. Tortoises don't get parent reared, so once they have hatched out their egg and climbed to the very top of their nest, they go on and get on with their lives all on their own. Now, these guys can grow pretty big, I'm meaning at least this size and about this high, and they can weigh at least 60 kilograms or more. The females tend to weigh more than the males. They tend to be slightly bigger as well. However, Bugsy here is a slight exception. She's just growing nice and slowly. She's pretty good at this. Now, unfortunately, this species is classed as vulnerable in the animal world. It means that they are declining. Now, there's a number of reasons they are declining, partly from predators. These guys are predated on by birds of prey. However, people are also a very big predator. Unfortunately, Africans eat tortoises. It's not very nice. I personally wouldn't want to. Look at that face. I don't want to eat that. It's too cute. So they are hunted for food. Also, there is big habitat loss going on at the moment. So people are building houses and stuff in Africa. And unfortunately, that means the tortoises are losing their homeland. And the main one is the pet trade. These guys are a very common pet across Asia, Europe, and America. And also people hunt them for their shells. They're seen as a trophy, so they're part of the trophy hunting as well. So we are going to continue keeping these guys nice and safe. When they are fully grown, though, I am not bringing them around to schools because they will be too heavy. So you'll have to come and see them in about 100 years when they're nice and big, because they'll live till they're about 150. They are known as the third largest species of tortoise in the world. You've got the Galapagos first, and then you've got the Aldabra, and then these little guys here. They're just so adorable. So we're going to pop Bugsy back with Dipsy so that they can eat some grass for breakfast. And we are going to look at the fabulous homework you guys created. So this is from the Carroll family. They are huge fans of ours. And this is their meerkat presentation done on the computer. So we've got the interesting facts. We've got predators. We have family photos in there, because remember, meerkats need family to stay alive. It's all about safety in numbers. So we are going to do a quick recap session on what you have learned today. So you've looked at the Sahara Desert. Remember, if you Google it, you will just see mountains of sand. But there is some grassland and shrubland in there as well, with some cactuses, some grasses, and some little plants as well for the tortoises to eat. We met Dipsy and Bugsy the tortoise. Remember why they are a tortoise and not a turtle. And your homework for today is to write a fact file or build a fact file on the Sulcata tortoise. And we will show off all your homework tomorrow. Don't forget to post your work on our Facebook page. We'd love to see what homework you guys are coming up with. It's very creative, and unfortunately, because we can't come out and interact with you, it's nice to see what you're creating through the internet. So we want to do a very big shout out to Jessica Murphy. She has donated some money to our crowdfunder page. We want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's donated. You are helping us keep these animals healthy and alive and safe. We are following all of the zoo licensing legislations to make sure they are nice and healthy. We can't wait to come out and see you all again. Personally, I prefer teaching to a group where they can ask questions than teaching to a computer screen, because technology still fails me. So if you want to donate to our crowdfunder webpage, then the link is there. You can also pay through PayPal to the boss's email address that's on the screen if you don't trust Crowdfunder. We have finally reached 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel within the past 2 weeks, so thank you very much. Please share it. Get your friends to join it. We love educating people. We can't wait to get back on the road once this crisis is over. And plus, you can come and see us as well. So once we're back open, we will be doing our meet and greet experiences, and our Sulcata Tortoises are part of the reptile one if you are interested. Just go onto our website and you'll find all the details there. So thank you very much, guys. It's been great talking to you again. Hopefully we will see you all very, very soon, and stay safe. Bye.